94 WIP breaking news.
Well, not the kind of breaking news we wanted here, Hugh Douglas. We were waiting. We were on Bo Watch, Bo Bichette Watch, and Bo Bichette Watch has come to a close, but not to the Philadelphia Phillies. According to Jeff Passan of ESPN and Will Salmon, who covers the New York Mets. Yes, the New York Mets he covers for The Athletic. The New York Mets and Bo Bichette are in agreement on a 3-year deal pending a physical. League sources told The Athletic. 3 years, $126 million. So the Mets, who threw $50 a year at Kyle Tucker, only to see him go to the Dodgers, took a lot of that money and they threw it at Bo Bichette. And Hugh Douglas, we have just lost the player we have been talking about for the last week, the one we needed to get, the player to try to get the Phillies to be in a better level than they were. This is a disaster for the Phillies offseason.
Wait a minute, who we just played a few minutes ago said that he felt strongly that
Ken Rosenthal.
We need to go swing on.
Yeah, Blades out. Blades
no,
out.
We're not going to do that, but I am.
We need to go swing on Ken.
Well, I don't know about that, but I am. I mean, Hugh, this is a this is a disaster for the Phillies offseason.
Yeah,
they didn't do nearly enough right up to this point. Then all of a sudden, Bo Bichette seemed to fall in their lap, and
the conversation was good.
Yeah.
But you let her leave. You shouldn't have, should have bought some more drinks or something. Should have, did a little bit more. Everybody talking on the phone about, they want him to be here and everything. That hurts. It hurts a little bit.
It does. Well, to me, this is a double whammy because not only are we not getting Bo Bichette, like if the news came down and Jack popped in here, Kyle told us the news was coming out, right? And if it was Bichette back to Toronto, it would have hurt. But, okay, he went back to his team. He's in the American League. He's going to the Mets. A team in our divisions. Not only is the Dodgers, the Dodgers are behemoth anyway, and they just got even better last night with Kyle Tucker, but Hugh, now the Mets add a player that we had gotten excited about over the last week, and this makes the division harder to win. And I look at the Phillies. Alex Bregman went to the Cubs last Saturday night. Kyle Tucker just went to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Bo Bichette went to the New York Mets. So the three best players probably available in free agency all just landed in the National League with National League contenders not named the Phillies. This offseason, we have brought back Kyle Schwarber. Great. And then what?
That's it.
That's it. And we can't even pivot and say, you know what? Let's just make the pitching staff better and go get Ranger Suarez. That's over too. Gone. Ranger's gone. He's on the Boston Red Sox. Barring something that none of us can predict right now, this feels like a disaster of an offseason for the Phillies.
Who else is out there that's pretty decent?
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. I guess because we were all kind of excited about Bo being here. Yeah, that hurts a little bit.
I say this, no exaggeration whatsoever. My summer is ruined.
Anything you got here, yeah.
Dude, don't care. I'm waving the white flag on the Philly season.
You can't wave the white flag
can't
now.
Do that, Kyle.
We
still gotta go to Clearwater.
We're picking up the pieces over the Eagles.
Nope, throwing in the towel. That's it. Now JT's coming back. Boom's still here, hitting cleanup. Just whatever.
I don't know how else to say it. Dombrowski screwed this up royally. Now, there was stories out there over the last 2 weeks. They had to move money to make the Bichette thing work, right? Well, obviously they weren't proactive about it because they didn't do anything and they didn't make it happen. And now this baseball team, as of today, is just not good enough. It's not good enough in the National League. The Dodgers are obviously way better. The Chicago Cubs got Alex Bregman, who I would have loved on this team. And the Mets, I always thought the Mets were going to be better this year than they were last year. They're going to be better. And now they get Bo Bichette. And now they get to have a lineup that has Bichette and Lindor and Soto to start that thing off. I don't know how the Phillies pivot, Hugh, but it cannot be we're just going to bring back JT and cross our fingers and hope for the best. That's not enough.
Yeah. This deal should have been done a few days ago. I'm not going to lie, because it just feels like the more you allow free agents to be in free agency, somebody's going to come along and they're not going to play them games. They're just going to show them the baby. And they threw the money at him. I don't know what the negotiations were between him and the Phillies, but all those phone calls, pillow talking that night, not having any action. That dog only hunts for so long.
Yeah, it does. And I'm going to point to two people on this. It's John Middleton, who has obviously capped the spending at some point, and you could say he's done enough or not, but he's capped it. And Dave Dombrowski. Dave Dombrowski has not managed the roster well enough. They are still trying to find someone to take the money off of Castellanos off their hands, and they don't want him on the team. That's on them. Dave Dombrowski with that contract, which is bad. And they're still trying to find someone to take Alec Boehm, who they should have dumped last year before the GM destroyed his value by talking bad about him. I just and also Taijuan Walker's still here. Think about how much bad money that this guy has put on this baseball team. And that's not even I'm not even saying that about Trey Turner or Harper or Schwarber. The other bad money that's on this baseball team is part of the reason why Bo Bichette is a New York Met. All right, you guys can react with us as can we have something good to talk about? I needed the Bichette thing to make us feel better.
I almost just want the lockout to come now.
What's wrong with you, dog? You all right?
He threw the towel in.
Did you just see what happened?
Yes.
The Mets, the stinking Mets, just signed the guy that I got so excited for.
You know what?
I'm devastated.
You can tell this.
Dude, this
we
sucks.
don't have any football to look forward to today because it got tense up in here like for the last hour.
Yeah,
it's been a little tense.
That just made me miserable. And I'm usually a very cheery guy.
I am too. So when we talk about this stuff, but then it was a bad hour.
So what's next?
We got to bring it back. We got to do something.
Oh, they're going to give JT the 3 years he wants? They're going to overpay JT to come back? Is that how this plays out next?
When I said bring it back, I know that might have sounded like I meant run it back, but that's not what I meant. I mean, I guess you got to pivot and try to figure out what's the next viable move.
Well, the problem is, though, when you pivot late, again,
it's hard. Yeah, you missed the boat.
I also, the Phillies better start rethinking how they do contracts and structure of salaries because they got bad money on the books. They don't seem willing to do deferred money. And now, Hugh, you said this, and we talked about it before the show today. The Dodgers are breaking the salary structure, right? Like, Bo Bichette's not a $42 million a year player, but guess what? Now he
got
is.
Paid.
Kyle Tucker's not a $60 million a year player. Guess what? Now he is. So if I'm JT's agent right now, and they're fighting over $13 or $15 million a year, and they say,
like, look what they just gave these cats.
Right? I'm sure the Phillies are saying to JT, we love you, man, but we can't pay you 15. And if I'm JT, I'm like, Tucker got 60. Like I can't get 15.
What you doing? Yeah,
I'm a quarter of the player he is. So the Phillies better wake up because it's not good, and I don't know how they fix it from here. But this team needs to improve before we get to spring training. Let's go to. Okay, Hugh, I want your perspective as someone who's lived life, and been part of negotiations and signed contracts with teams. According to Bob Nightingale, the Phillies had agreed to Bo Bichette's request for a 7-year, $200 million deal last night and believed they would sign him until the Mets swooped in with their 3-year, $126 million offer after losing out in the Kyle Tucker sweepstakes.
Why is he working?
Yeah, we haven't heard that one in a while. That's a good one. Hugh, your perspective, is that wrong? Or is it like, hey, pen wasn't to paper, I can do what I want?
That's kind of shady.
Okay.
On his part, in my opinion, because I feel like my word is my bond. And I've always prided myself on, like somebody called in earlier and was like, well, I'll never say it to anybody's face. Everything that I say on these airwaves, I'll say to anybody's face. And I've had ample opportunity to do it, and I've done it. And I always feel like the person that I am on these airwaves is the person who I am on a day-to-day basis. So if I give you my word I'm going to do something, that's what I'm going to do. These kids nowadays are different. I'm going to say that. These younger generational players, when you look at that money, as enticing as it is, my word means everything to me. Like we were talking to somebody earlier and talking about, well, could you swallow taking $16 million and being a puppet? Nah, couldn't do that. Live by a different code.
Right.
So for you to have a deal in what do they call it?
In principle.
In principle. To have a deal done in principle and to do that, I think it looks bad for you. I really, really do. I understand the ramifications. You had a deal in place that gave you more money, less years, and give you an opportunity to make more money in the long run. So you're getting more money in the long run. But you gave the Phillies your word. You gave them your word that this is what you were going to do, and you let somebody else sweep in and take that. I mean, hey, God bless him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it.